What's happening, YouTube? My name's Immortal Coil, and today we are talking Obi-Wan Kenobi. So before we get too far into this, I want to give a shout out to Drunk 3PO, my bro from a different Mo, for bringing my attention to this story. I am choosing to focus on an article from SlashFilm, which is entitled, Ewan McGregor confirmed to sign on for Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney+. Well, let's take a look at this. Back when Solo was still being promoted, we got rumors that we were going to get a Obi-Wan Kenobi solo film, as well as a Boba Fett solo film. Now, when Solo came out and bombed because of how pissed off we all were at The Last Jedi, well, all these projects were suddenly scrapped. Because I don't believe that Lucasfilm, especially at that time, had the ability to pump out good stories. Which is strange, because if you refer to the comic books, Star Wars edition number 7, I believe, feature a really good story about Obi-Wan in Tatooine watching over Luke Skywalker. Now, a Disney Plus series starring Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan, is that a good or bad thing? Well, let's think about this, because in canon, at least up until this point, Obi-Wan was on Tatooine for 20 years, making sure that the Lars family was protected. Now, he had to disguise his identity as a Jedi, of course, which meant that he couldn't really use the Force or use his lightsaber if a shit ton of people were around to see it. But is that enough of a premise to base a series on? Ideally, the series would follow his adventures and show how he aged from the end of Revenge of the Sith to the beginning of, I guess Star Wars Rebels was the last time we saw him, when he cut down Darth Maul. If you're thinking about a TV show that would last, 7, 8 seasons, is there enough shit for him to do on Tatooine to keep the viewers entertained? Because it doesn't make sense that if he was Luke's guardian, that he would be blasting off out of Mos Eisley and having space adventures while Luke is at home. And the problem with this formula, if we're talking TV series, is that it would be very much like, okay, here comes Luke, he's doo-doo-doo, bumbling along like a fucking idiot, and then Tusken Raiders jump out and try to hurt him, and then Obi-Wan has to be invisible and, throw them with the Force or something, like he did in the comic. But do we want to see that every fucking week? I just don't think that's sustainable. I think it's more realistic to do a trilogy of movies. But Disney is so hard for their streaming service that they're holding out this piece of candy for us. A group of trilogies based on that sort of idea, that Luke's in danger, that he can't quite realize that he's being protected, and then to get a piece where, maybe Owen Lars sees him doing Force shit and has to go get in his face and be like, no, stay away from my family. You're a crazy old wizard. You already fucked up one Skywalker. I don't need you fucking up 2 of them. That would be doable. And then, as Star Wars trilogies go, George Lucas, the man himself, says a really good Star Wars trilogy would take around 10 years to make. So that gives enough time for Ewan McGregor, who, as of this recording, is 48 years old, to age into something that was closer to Alec Guinness. And especially with the kind of shit they can do with makeup and CG, they can pretty damn well transform him from how he looked in Revenge of the Sith to how Obi-Wan Kenobi looks in A New Hope. Now, that's if they do it right. My biggest concern with this project announcement is the lack of ability for Disney, Lucasfilm, to craft a well-made story and put these characters where they belong and doing shit that we know that they would do given scenario X. Now, there is a little bit of light in this tunnel if they got the proper showrunners. The Mandalorian, which is also another show that's going to be on Disney+, the first episode was directed by David Filoni, and the first thing David Filoni did was bring out George Lucas and be like, listen, Jedi Master, tell us how this shit should look. You know, and I'm sure Dave Filoni got to direct it and all that stuff, but if George Lucas is sitting there on set, he's not going to let them fuck up his baby. And especially with his Padawan there. So is Obi-Wan Kenobi coming back to Star Wars, starring Ewan McGregor, a good thing? Yes. But I don't think a TV series would be the proper use of this plot right now. I really think a chain of movies would be the way to go. But I'm not Disney. I'm not responsible. I can't make that call. And they just really want subs on their streaming service. Because what else are we going to watch? You know, fucking Hannah Montana reruns? So, there you have it. My thoughts on an Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series starring Ewan McGregor. My name's Immortal Coil. Like, share, subscribe. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you want to see covered on future editions of Savage Spirituality. Check out my buddies in the Fandom Collective. We're a group of channels dedicated to helping you get likes, you get subs, you build your channel, and you get traction. And together, we will turn around the shit show that passes as entertainment in 2019. And remember, for over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic. But that was before the dark times. And there is indeed a new hope. It's over. I have the high ground.